Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Adroit Gamers. In this content I would be showing you the 50 best games for PS4, alongside with all requirement you need in order to play any of the games listed. Please subscribe or leave a comment to stay updated on all my interesting gaming clip. Now let's begin. Number 50. Uncharted 4. A Thieves End is a third-person action-adventure game developed by Naughty Dog and released May 2016 for PS4. Players control Nathan Drake, a former treasure hunter who has retired fortune hunting, but forced back into the world of thieves. With Nathan's longtime partner, they search for clues to the location of Henry Avery's lost treasure. 49th of this clip. Assassin's Creed Origins is a 2017 action role-playing video game developed by Ubisoft. The game explores the origins of the Assassin Brotherhood, which are referred to as the Hidden Ones, and of their millennia-long conflict with the Ancients Templar Order. Fight in epic battles, master a completely reinvented combat system, and explore the entire city of Egypt, and follow your own path to greatness. Number 48. Sleeping Dog Definitive Edition. This is a third-person action-adventure video game created by United Front Games. The game's story tells about Wei Shen, an undercover police officer with martial artist who infiltrates the Sun On Yi, a triad organization. Gameplay focuses on Wei Shen's martial arts with his moves, fighting, shooting and parkour abilities, and on gadgets. All this are used for combat and exploration. The 47th on this clip. Marvel's Avengers. This is an epic third-person action developed by Crystal Dynamics and released 2020 for PlayStation 4. The game combines an original cinematic story with single-player and cooperative gameplay, which also incorporates elements from the team's comic book. It features an online co-op mode, allowing players to assemble a team of heroes of their own, master extraordinary abilities, and defend the Earth from escalating threats. Number 46. Hitman II. The game is a stealth video game developed by IO Interactive and released in 2018 for PS4. It is the 7th main installment in the Hitman series, and the second game in the World of Assassination trilogy. The game is structured around 6 large sandbox locations that players can freely explore to find opportunities in different ways to eliminate their targets. 45th on this clip. Mafia Definitive Edition is an open-world action-adventure game developed by Hangar 13. It is a remake of the 2002 Mafia. The game is set within the fictional city of Lost Heaven and follows the rise and fall of Tommy Angelo, a Sicilian-American cab driver working with the Salieri crime family. Players can now explore Lost Heaven at their leisure thanks to the game's open-world feature. Number 44. Rise of the Tomb Raider is an action-adventure game developed by Crystal Dynamics and released 2015 for PS4. The game is the 11th main entry in the Tomb Raider series. The game's story follows Lara Croft as she travels through Siberia in pursuit of the fabled city of Kitesh. Player explores the semi-open hubs and must navigate the terrain and use weapon and stealth to confront opponents. Number 43. Mad Max is an action-adventure video game developed by Avalanche Studios, released September 2015. The game is set in an open post-apocalyptic wasteland. Players control Max Rokitansky as he progresses through the wasteland, building a vehicle to do battle with a gang of raiders led by Scabrous Scrotus, and to reach the storied Plains of Silence, where he hopes to find peace. Mad Max emphasizes vehicular combat, in which players can use weapon and armor upgrades on their car to fight enemies. Number 42. Street Fighter VI is a fighting game developed by Capcom. The game is the 7th main entry in the Street Fighter franchise, and was released for PS4 in 2023. Rollback netcode and cross-platform play are supported in Street Fighter VI. There are 3 main game modes and 3 control schemes available. The game also has a real-time commentary system that lets players cheer on one another and creates a tournament-like atmosphere. 41 in the list. Detroit Become Human is an adventure game developed by Quantic Dream and was released for the PS4 in 2018. The plot follows 3 androids, Kara, who escapes her owner to explore her newfound sentience and protect a young girl. Second is Connor, whose job is to hunt down sentient androids, and Marcus, who devotes himself to releasing other androids from servitude. The player's choices affect the course and outcome of the story. Number 40. Watch Dogs 2 is an open-world action-adventure game developed by Ubisoft. It is the sequel to 2014 Watch Dogs, and the second installment in the Watch Dogs series released November 2016. Players control Marcus Holloway, a hacker who works with the hacking group Dissect to take down the city's advanced surveillance systems. Missions can be completed in a variety of methods, and the hacking group Dissect gains followers for every assignment that is completed successfully. Number 39. Fallout 4 is an action role-playing game developed by Bethesda Game Studios and released November 2015. It is the fourth main game in the Fallout series, which is set within an open-world post-apocalyptic environment that encompasses the city of Boston. Players levels up and enhances their characters' powers by exploring the game's decaying landscape, completing numerous objectives, aiding factions, and earning experience points. 38th on this clip. Just Cause 4 is a 2018 action-adventure game developed by Avalanche Studios and is the fourth in the Just Cause series released December 2018. Player-controlled protagonist Rotor Gaz, who arrives in the fictional nation of Sol S to take down the world's biggest private military. The game uses a new version of Avalanche's Apex game engine. This new technology allows the game to feature a variety of severe weather effects. Number 37. Infamous Second Son is a 2014 action-adventure game developed by Sucker Punch Productions. The game is the third installment in its series. The story follows our protagonist Delson fighting the Department of Unified Protection in a fictionalized Seattle. Delson possesses superpower abilities that players use in combat and when traveling across the city. Delson gains new abilities and changes either good or evil during the game as decisions made by the player affect his morals. Number 36. Battlefield 5 is a 2018 first-person shooter game developed by DICE. The game is the successor of the 2016 Battlefield 1 and the 11th main installment in the Battlefield series released November 2018 for PS4. Battlefield 5 features several new multiplayer modes, including the continuous campaign mode Firestorm and Grand Operations. The game is based on World War II and is a thematic continuation of its World War I-based precursor. Number 35. Dark Souls 3 is a 2016 action role-playing game developed by From Software, the third and final entry in the Dark Souls series. It is played in a third-person perspective, and players have access to various weapons and shield skills, which are special abilities that vary from weapon to weapon, also armor, magic, and consumables, which are used to fight their enemies. 34th on the list. FIFA 22. This is a football simulation video game published by Electronic Arts. The game is the 29th installment in the FIFA series, and was released worldwide on October 1, 2021 for PlayStation 4 and other platforms. FIFA 22 introduces hypermotion technology, which uses motion capture data collected from 2020 to real-life players playing a complete, high-intensity motion in football match. Number 33. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy is a 2017 action-adventure game developed by Naughty Dog. It is the first Uncharted game not to feature series protagonist Nathan Drake. Players control Chloe Fraser, who seeks the Tusk of Ganesh in the Western Ghats mountain ranges of India, with the help of ex-mercenary Nadine Ross. Players incorporate several platformer elements to advance the narrative and can use melee combat and stealth to defend against enemies. Number 32. Devil May Cry 5 is a 2019 action-adventure game developed and published by Capcom. It is the sixth installment overall, and the fifth mainline installment in the Devil May Cry series. The gameplay features the return of Dante and Nero, along with a new character named V as they attempt to stop the demon King Urizen from destroying the human world, across their journey in Red Grave City. Each of them has their own way of fighting and becoming stronger. Number 31. Gran Turismo 7 is a 2022 racing simulation game developed by Polyphony Digital. The game is the 13th overall in the Gran Turismo series. The game is the first multi-console installment in its series featuring the return of the single-player campaign. Other returning features are special events, championships, driving school, used cars dealership, and GT Auto. Number 30. Marvel's Spider-Man is a 2018 action-adventure game developed by Insomniac Games, which is based on the Marvel Comics character Spider-Man. The superhuman crime lord Mr. Negative orchestrates a plot to seize control of New York City's criminal underworld. When Mr. Negative threatens to release a deadly virus, Spider-Man must confront him and protect the city while dealing with the personal problems of his civilian persona Peter Parker. 29th on this clip. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor is a 2014 action-adventure video game developed by Monolith Productions. The game takes place between the events of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings film trilogies. The player controls Talion, a Gondorian ranger who bonds with the wraith of the elf Lord Celebrimbor, as the two set out to avenge the deaths of their loved ones. Number 28. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice is a 2019 action-adventure game developed by From Software, released in Japan by From Software. It takes place in a fictionalized Japan during the Sengoku period and makes strong references to Buddhist mythology and philosophy. Sekiro follows a shinobi known as Wolf, who attempts to take revenge on a samurai clan that imprisoned him and kidnapped his lord. Number 27. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is an action role-playing video game developed by Bethesda Game Studios. It is the fifth main installment in the Elder Scrolls series, and was released October 2016. Its main story focuses on the player's character, the Dragonborn, on their quest to defeat Alduin the World Eater, a dragon who is prophesied to destroy the world. Player completes quests and develops the character by improving skills. Number 26. Days Gone is a 2019 action-adventure video game developed by Ben Studio, released for the PlayStation 4 in April 2019. Set in post-apocalyptic Oregon that turned a portion of humanity into zombie-like creatures. Former outlaw-turned-drifter Deacon Steve T. John discovers his wife Sarah, having been assumed dead, may still be alive, and goes on a quest to find her. Players can use firearms, melee or improvised weapons against hostile humans and cannibalistic creatures known as freakers to get rid of them. Number 25. Dishonored II is an action-adventure game developed by Arcane Lion and released 2016 for PlayStation 4. Player may choose between playing as either Emily or her royal protector and Father Corvo Atano, as they attempt to reclaim the throne. Emily and Corvo employ their own array of supernatural abilities, though the player can alternatively decide to forfeit these abilities altogether. There are multiple of ways or method to complete different missions, from non-lethal stealth to purposeful violent conflict. 24th on the clip. Call of Duty: Modern Warfare 2 is a 2020 first-person shooter video game developed by Infinity Ward. The game is the 19th installment in the overall Call of Duty series. Like its predecessor, the game takes place in a realistic and modern setting. The campaign follows multinational Special Operations Unit and Mexican Special Forces Unit as they attempt to track down terrorist leader who is in possession of American-made ballistic missiles. Number 23. Yakuza Zero is an action-adventure game developed by Ruga Gotoku Studio and published by Sega. It is the sixth main entry in the Yakuza series and a prequel to the original game. It was released for PlayStation 4 in 2015. The story follows Kazuma Kiryu and Goro Majima as they get embroiled in a conflict between various Yakuza factions for control of a patch of land known as the Empty Lot. Number 22. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a 2018 action role-playing video game developed by Ubisoft Quebec. The game is the 11th major installment in the Assassin's Creed series. Players control a Spartan mercenary who fights on both sides of the conflict as they attempt to find their family and eliminate the mysterious cult of Cosmos. Similar to its predecessor, the game offers a sizable open world and incorporates numerous role-playing game mechanics, emphasizing battle and exploration over stealth. Number 21. Horizon Zero Dawn is a 2017 action role-playing game developed by Guerrilla Games. The game is the first game of the Horizon video game series. The story follows Aloy, a teenage hunter in a world where machines have taken over. As she attempts to learn more about her history, the player battles mechanical monsters and other opposing troops by using stealth, a spear, and ranged weapons in order to find places and complete side missions. The 20th on this video. Grand Theft Auto 5 is an open-world action-adventure game developed by Rockstar North. It is the 7th main entry in GTA series. The story follows three protagonists: retired bank robber Michael D. Santa, street gangster Franklin Clinton, and drug dealer Trevor Phillips. The characters strive to pull off heists while facing opposition from strong criminals and a corrupt government agency. Number 19. The Last of Us Remastered is an action-adventure game developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. Players control Joel, a smuggler who is charged with accompanying Ellie, a teenage girl, through the post-apocalyptic United States. The game is played from a third-person perspective. Players use firearms, improvised weapons, stealth to defend against hostile humans and cannibalistic creatures infected by a mutated fungus. Number 18. Control. This is an action-adventure game developed by Remedy Entertainment and published by 505 Games. The game was released 2019 for PlayStation 4. The story tells about the Federal Bureau of Control (FBC), a covert government organization entrusted with containing and researching events that defy reality's laws. Player gains abilities by finding objects of power, mundane objects like a rotary phone or a floppy disk imbued with energies from another dimension. 17th on this clip. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a 2018 action-adventure game developed by Eidos Montreal. The game is the 12th mainline entry in its series. The story follows Lara Croft as she ventures through the tropical regions of the Americas to the legendary city Patiti, battling the paramilitary organization Trinity. In her adventure, she can raid challenge tombs to unlock new rewards, complete side missions, and scavenge for resources which can be used to craft useful materials. Number 16. Far Cry 6 is a 2021 first-person shooter game developed by Ubisoft Toronto. It is the sixth main installment in the Far Cry series. The game is set on the fictional Caribbean island of Yara, ruled as a dictatorship by El Presidente and N. Castillo, who is raising his son Diego to follow in his rule. Players take on the role of Donnie Rojas, attempting to topple Castillo and his regime. Players fight enemy soldiers and dangerous wildlife using a wide array of weapons. Number 15. Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales is a 2020 action-adventure game developed by Insomniac Games. The game is based on the Marvel Comics character Miles Morales, who has struggled to balance the duties of his civilian persona and his role as the second Spider-Man. Miles can freely move around New York City, interacting with characters, undertaking missions, and unlocking new gadgets and suits by progressing through the main story or completing tasks. Number 14. Persona 5 Royal, published by Atlus in Japan and released worldwide for PlayStation for 2020. The story follows a high school student known by the codename Joker, who transfers to a new school after he is falsely accused of assault and put on probation. Over the course of a school year, he and other students awaken to a special power, becoming a group of secret vigilantes known as the Phantom Thieves of Hearts. Number 13. Final Fantasy VII Remake is an action role-playing game by Square Enix and released April 2020. The game is the first in a planned trilogy of games, remaking the 1997 PlayStation game Final Fantasy VII. Set in the dystopian cyberpunk metropolis of Midgar, players control the mercenary Cloud Strife as he joins Avalanche, an eco-terrorist group trying to stop the powerful megacorporation Shinra from using the planet's life essence as an energy source. Number 12. God of War is an action-adventure game developed by Santa Monica Studio, released for the PlayStation 4 in April 2018. It is the 8th installment in the God of War series. Players has the protagonist, Kratos, the former Greek god of war who remains the only playable character, and his young son, Atreus. Unlike previous games, which were loosely based on Greek mythology, this installment is loosely inspired by Norse mythology, with the majority of it set in ancient Scandinavia in the realm of Midgard, for the first time in the series. Number 11. Batman Arkham Knight is a 2015 action-adventure game developed by Rocksteady Studios, and the fourth main installment in the Batman Arkham series. The game's main storyline follows Batman as he confronts Scarecrow, who has launched an attack on Gotham City and caused a citywide evacuation. Scarecrow, with the help of the mysterious Arkham Knight, plots to unite all of Gotham's criminals in an attempt to finally destroy Batman. Number 10. Metal Gear Solid V: The Phantom Pain is a 2015 action-adventure stealth video game developed by Kojima Productions. It is the 9th installment in the Metal Gear franchise. The game is played from a third-person perspective in an open world which can be explored either on foot or by modes of transport. Players can use a wide repertoire of weapons and items. Number 9. Ghost of Tsushima is a 2020 action-adventure game developed by Sucker Punch Productions. Player controls Jin Sakai, a samurai on a quest to protect Tsushima Island during the first Mongol invasion of Japan. Jin must choose between following the warrior code to fight honorably, or using practical, but dishonorable methods of repelling the Mongols with minimal casualties. The game features a large open world which can be explored either on foot or on horseback. Number 8. The Last of Us Part 2 is a 2020 action-adventure game developed by Naughty Dog. The game centers on two playable characters in a post-apocalyptic United States whose lives intersect. Ellie, who sets out in revenge for a murder, and Abby, a soldier who gets entangled in a fight between her militia and a religious cult. Using guns and homemade weapons, player can battle human FOs and cannibalistic zombie-like monsters in this third-person adventure game. The game also introduces guard dogs that track the player's scent, which can be visualized in listen mode. Number 7. Resident Evil 4 is a survival horror game by Capcom, originally released for GameCube in 2005. Players control the special agent Leon S. Kennedy on a mission to rescue the US president's daughter, Ashley Graham, who has been kidnapped by a religious cult in rural Spain. Leon fights hordes of enemies infected by a mind-controlling parasite and reunites with the spy Ada Wong. Players can interact with the environment, kicking down a ladder, jumping out of a window, dodging an attack, or executing a finishing move on weakened enemies. Number 6 on this clip. Assassin's Creed Mirage is a 2023 action-adventure game developed by Ubisoft Bordeaux. The game is the 13th major installment in the Assassin's Creed series. Set in 9th century Baghdad during the Islamic Golden Age, the story follows Basim ibn Ishaq, a street thief who joins the Hidden Ones to fight for peace and liberty, against the order of the ancients who desire peace through control. The main narrative focuses on Basim's internal struggle between his duties as a Hidden One and his desire to uncover his mysterious past. Moving and running animations have been refined to improve mobility and fluidity, and has an amazing gameplay. Number 5. Horizon Forbidden West is a 2020 action role-playing game developed by Guerrilla Games. The game was released for PlayStation February 2022. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic version of the western United States, recovering from the aftermath of an extinction event caused by a rogue robot swarm. The player can explore the open world and complete quests using ranged and melee weapons against hostile machine creatures. Exploration is improved with new underwater discoveries, and improvements to combat using the Valor Surge system, freeform climbing, and tools such as the Shield Wing, Diving Mask, and Polecaster. Number 4. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is a 2015 open-world action role-playing game developed and published by CD Projekt. The game takes place in a fictional fantasy world based on Slavic mythology. Players control Geralt of Rivia, a monster slayer for hire known as a Witcher, and search for his adopted daughter, who is on the run from the otherworldly Wild Hunt. Players battle the game's many dangers with weapons and magic, interact with non-player characters, and complete quests to acquire experience points and gold, which are used to increase Geralt's abilities and purchase equipment. Number 3. Bloodborne is a 2015 action role-playing game developed by From Software. Bloodborne follows the player's character, a hunter, through the decrepit Gothic, Victorian-era-inspired city of Yarnum, whose inhabitants are afflicted with a blood-borne disease which transforms the residents, called Yarnumites, into horrific beasts. Attempting to find the source of the plague, players unravels the city's mysteries while fighting cosmic beings. Number 2. God of War Ragnar is an action-adventure game developed by Santa Monica Studio and released November 20, 2022, for PlayStation 4, marking the first cross-gen release in the God of War series. It is the 9th installment in the series. Loosely based on Norse mythology, the game is set in ancient Scandinavia, and features series protagonist, Kratos, and his now teenage son, Atreus. The player primarily controls the character Kratos in combo-based combat and puzzle game elements. Kratos' main weapons are a magical battle axe and his signature double-chain blades, the Blades of Chaos. He also dons his original Guardian shield and utilizes hand-to-hand combat. Number 1. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a 2018 action-adventure game developed and published by Rockstar Games. The game is the third entry in the Red Dead series. The story is set in a fictionalized representation of the United States in 1899, and follows the exploits of Arthur Morgan, an outlaw and member of the Van der Linde gang, who must deal with the decline of the Wild West while attempting to survive against government forces, rival gangs, and other adversaries. The game is presented through first and third-person perspectives, and the player may freely roam in its interactive open world. Gameplay elements include shootouts, robberies, hunting, horseback riding, interacting with non-player characters, and maintaining the character's honor rating through moral choices and deeds. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification icon to get notified about more of our interesting gaming clips.